I need to know how to fix furnace thermostat problems.
It isn't the furnace's problem if you can't get a proper reading of the temperature in the house.
The thermostat has an electric sensor to read things, not one of those bimetallic strips.
If you had a bimetallic strip, then the issue might be the contacts that the bimetallic strips come into contact with, and you could replace either the bimetallic strip or the contacts the strip touches to turn on the furnace.
I am so glad I have a digital sensor and control system instead.
That doesn't mean the furnace isn't running because the sensor is malfunctioning and thinks the house is already warm enough.
I could at least check the temperature it says the house is. But if it thinks the house is cold, then what?
If the wire to thermostat is loose, so it doesn't know that the house is too cold, it won't engage.
I don't know how that wire could get loose.
It could come loose over time or short out.
I'm paying a professional if that's the issue.
If you open up the thermostat, know that the furnace wires are red and white while red and green go to the air conditioner.
I'd rather not open it, just replace it, because of the odds I'd mess it up.
Depending on what type of thermostat you have, you could also plan on replacing the thermostat.
I'd like to know that's actually the solution before I do it.
Set the thermostat at 5 degrees higher than the room is, just in case it isn't engaging because it is a little bit off.
If it kicks in at 10 degrees higher than today but not at 5 degrees, I know I need to calibrate it.
Calibrating the thermostat may be something you can do yourself or requires a professional, but that depends on the model. Oh, and you need to make sure it is set for heat.
Of course it is set to heat.
And not set to fan by mistake. I've seen people move it one switch over from cool to fan and not all the way over to heat.
I already checked that, as well as someone turning it back down in order to keep the utility bills down.
Now you're down to power cycling the thermostat to try to reset it.
You mean by turning it off?
That's one option. So is power cycling the control board in the furnace in case that's what is causing the unit not to work properly.
I think I'd have to turn it off at the breaker.
Whether the thermostat is malfunctioning because it is the problem or the sensors that are connected to it or the control board that reads its input, turning it off and back on is the simplest way to reset all of it.
Give me advice other than rebooting it.
Make sure someone didn't install a smart app to set the temperature at the level they want, or that you didn't sign up for a power saving plan that says they can keep your furnace off to keep the power grid up when demand peaks.